I was going to ask that because, I mean, I did a little research. You were endorsed for leadership on LinkedIn. So someone knows that you're a good leader. Multiple people know you're a good leader. And you just kind of went into that for high school. When did that start to develop? As you kind of, was it just something that was natural? You already like just...
Yeah, I mean, as far as leadership, I think that's just... My siblings and parents were always so much older, so I always wanted to be like them. I wanted to be grown since I was, 2, wasn't no... I want to say young forever. I wanted to be old.
Okay.
But yeah, my mom was sick a lot growing up. She had cancer. She's good now. So
that's good.
Prayers up on that. But as far as that, I kind of had to start working at a young age. I think I had to like apply for my working papers at like 15.
Really?
Okay. So I had like 2-3 jobs all throughout high school while going to school, going to sports. At 15? Doing everything.
That's tough.
Yeah. So just kind of instilled the, I guess, dog in me for back literature terms. And I think it's just, I don't know. I like to, I don't want to say put people in their place. That sounds bad. But I like to help people grow.
Which makes sense, which is a good, obviously, trait to have.
Yeah.
Were you in any groups in high school? Okay.
I'm going to make myself a nerd right here. Honor Society, orchestra.
Okay. What'd you play?
Violin.
Ooh. It's kind of gangster.
A little bit, yeah. You
can get busy on the violin.
I did have, me and one other girl had a little duet in the Game of Thrones theme song.
Really?
Senior year, yeah.
Okay.
If you know about that, a little Khaleesi moment for me. Not to brag. Obviously sports. I'm trying to think what else I did.
What sports were you playing?
I did track.
Yep.
I kind of switched around when I was in middle school. I did a lot more, but I took dancing obviously a lot more seriously as I got older. So my sophomore year in high school, I auditioned for a company that traveled around the US, got it awesomely. So I ended up having to travel almost every other weekend to different cities. So that also made me really independent just because I was traveling by myself.
That's something I was going to ask, that when did dance become like a staple, or you knew you could do it, as in professionally? Yeah. Because we'll get into the rest of it.
Oh God, there's so much.
When did you know? I come prepared, but when did you know? Because that's not like doing something professionally is obviously, there's a moment in which you're like, I got this. Yeah. I can do it.
It's like, I'm actually kind of good at it.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of good at it, that I can actually do it. Yeah. If I get paid or endorsed or whatever. So was that the moment when you knew, like when you made that team?
I would definitely say that was a stepping stone. My studio where I grew up, my sister danced, my oldest sister, so I kind of wanted to follow in her footsteps.
Family a little bit.
For sure. We had won nationals a bunch of times, but a lot of people from my studio had gone on to dance professionally with like actual artists.
Okay.
I kind of knew, high school timing. I wasn't really the look of what per se artists were looking for these days. They like the curvy, a little bit more cultured look.
Even back, because this was this was probably
2016. And so, when like Rihanna's still pop, stuff like that. So they want, a certain look. Yeah. Not saying I probably could change my look, but I really wasn't trying to do the whole audition back. That wasn't my thing. I definitely enjoyed it and realized, I was good enough at it to go somewhere with it, but that wasn't ever my dream in that sense. Okay.
Did you audition for any music videos for artists?
I'm in one music video. It's actually for acting, but it's just from college. Like, I wouldn't say it's like no music video.
Okay. Well,
maybe one day. We'll see.
Maybe one day. That'd still be fun though.
Right.
Depending on the artist. But going into that, so college, and this is something I learned because I didn't know this. You went to Penn State for biology and Spanish. What on earth was the plan for biology and Spanish? So
I wanted to go to med school. Little background, my mother was a veterinarian, my father was a dentist, so of course, competitive me. I had to one-up them and go to med school. It's just like rite of passage here. Honestly, I always liked Spanish in high school. It was probably my favorite subject. Honestly, my teacher's really cool. Don Ramon, I'll never forget him.
They are always really cool.
The coolest.
My Spanish teachers were the best teachers ever. Shout out Miss Giametta, Miss Jairus. I had this dude named Senor, because Miss Giametta got pregnant and had to leave. Senor came in. He had like hair growing out of his ears. Like, Senor Desmond, whenever he called my name. And I'm like, yo, you gotta relax, bro. It's okay. It's like third period. I'm still tired. But Spanish teachers were always the coolest. So you had planned on, you were gonna be a doctor? Yeah, and I always think just in general, my other minor was in psychology, but that's just because I liked that when I was taking courses in college. But honestly, Spanish, I just think, and in general, being bilingual, trilingual, anything is such a step up in life. Like I want my kids one day. Either. Like I had a tough time with Spanish. Yeah. Like English, I had no problem with. I was very good at English, but Spanish was always tough. So like being able to do the conjugations and everything else, like you got to be different side of the brain, I would say.
Oh, 100%.
For knowing how to do it. So you just got it, it clicked?
I wouldn't say it clicked. Didn't really click till I moved to Spain. I'm sure we'll probably touch on that, but that definitely made it click a little bit more when you have no other option. You're
That's
just
how I think I would have to learn. I moved somewhere and I had no choice.
Definitely, you know? But I think it's just something that I want in my future generations. Why not have that advantage?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sounds weird, but like eventually I want my kids to be bilingual, so.
And you know, for jobs, of course,
exactly.
as well.
I have sold a couple health insurance policies in Spanish.
In Spanish? That is? I was going to say, you're still fluent. Still good.
I wouldn't say fluent.
But you can get your point across.
I did write out a nice Spanish script explaining the plan. So I read that word for word, and that gets me through.
Okay.
If they have a question, I'm like, solo un minuto, and I just look it up.
They don't even know.
Yep.
We're smooth on the phone. So you went to Penn State.
Yep. Now,
what was that like coming from Eden to go into a D1 school?
Huge.
Because that's I mean, I went to Fredonia.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm from close to New York City, but like Fredonia is like still small out in the middle of nowhere. That's how I ended up here. Yeah. But like Penn State, I boys went to Penn State. Like that's huge.
Oh, it's gigantic.
What was that like?
It was awesome. I mean, it's definitely a step coming from, you know, a class of 110 to be in a class of 780. You're not seen. And that's what I liked. And at first I was like, oh, I love this. And then, you know, 1 semester in, 2 semesters in, you're walking by campus, you see every single time you're walking anywhere, someone you know. I'm like, it's the same exact thing, just on a larger scale. Oh my God, yeah. You know me, I'm a social butterfly. I'll talk to anybody.
They do know you.
And I was very multiverse, I guess you could say. In college, I was in like photography, dance. You know, I did a bunch of different stuff, so I was all over the place. I don't really like to. I can get along with anybody. You know, I'm not like gonna ever segregate someone from my life.
I know that.
Oh God, for sure. But I mean, I only did 2 years physically on campus at Penn State, and I switched to online.
Really? What was the reasoning for that? Just didn't want to be there anymore?
Honestly, the first year was insane, for lack of better terms. Like the parties, everything. And I didn't have to try that hard because I knew pretty much the information that time. So I just went crazy and it was phenomenal. My sophomore year, I actually had to work a little harder. And then
junior year,
unfortunately, they had like a whole hazing incident. So then parties were pretty much done. And did I want to pay $50K a semester to do something I could do online for $7?
Yeah, true. So I mean, that's a business mindset too, in the sense of knowing that you would. Some people would just stay, just to stay, because they want to be away from home. You have more freedom, but you chose to go the online route.
So what I did is I lived that summer going into my junior year with my sister in California. So this is why it happened.
That's okay.
And I was working at the Ritz-Carlton there, making a lot of money doing a whole lot of nothing, for lack of better terms. I was a beach or like a pool bartender, so
really
I didn't do much. Just would serve people, and they tip like it's candy there. So I was doing well for myself at a younger age. So I was like, why would I leave? Just do online school, and I can stay in sunny, beautiful California and make money. So
that makes sense, because I was going to ask how you end up moving to California, and that's how your sister lives there.
She does live there.
She still lives there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, very nice.
She's been there 13 years.
So you moved to California, and I know you came from, we'll get into it, I know you came from Cali back to here to be on the Bandettes, right? There's some in between.
Spain, that's where Spain comes up.
Okay.
So
explain that.
See, my life is crazy. I obviously wanted to study abroad, because you can take Spanish in class, it's not going to do you any good. So I picked, everyone, you know, goes to Barcelona. I said, no. I'm going to find this small little town in the middle of nowhere. Yep. So I found a small town, beach town. It's called Alicante. Wildest experience ever. Not a single person from Penn State, or there was 2 people from Penn State that went, but I didn't know them. Went there. All my classes were in Spanish. My teachers did not speak English
at all.
They knew like some words. And you had the option to live with like a friend, or, you know, whatever the case is. I was like, let me live with someone that's local. So I picked, well, I didn't pick, they like matched me with this girl named
family or something like that.
So I had, her name was Chelo. So almost like J-Lo, but Chelo. And it was the craziest experience. I'll never forget. They literally dropped me off a taxi in the middle of the street. I just had the address, didn't know where I was going. Like, it's different, like.
Different, everything.
Everything, the street was called Capitan Dema. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I like knock on this door. I'm like, hola, chelo, like shaking. And this little, I wouldn't even call her an old lady. She was like the most fit. She was honestly hot. She was like older? A gilf. Oh God, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So she's a short little Spanish woman. So hot for her age. She was like maybe like 63, 64. She puts olive oil on her face every night. So her skin was glowing.
Really?
Yeah.
And
insane.
That's what they placed you with? Someone who was like, she was affiliated with the school, or she just has students?
So she does like, she has exchange students come in.
Okay. So
I was with her and it was awesome. Like she was crazy. The nice thing with being in that city is every part of Spain has a different culture. This was a little more authentic Spanish culture. So during the middle of the day is like their big meal. So you know how we think of it in America, that's dinner. Yeah. It's lunch there.
Really?
So I would come home for lunch. We would have a big meal. She would be pouring me shots. Yeah, she was crazy. Yeah, first day she pours me shots. She's like, bienvenidos a mi casa, which means welcome to my home. She pours me shots. I don't even know what she's saying. She's like asking me if I like all this food. And I'm like, sí.
Now, was it like, obviously Spanish food, we love it, but how much better is it there?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's authentic, so it's got to be better.
Yes. And I don't know what, it just might have been my lack of diversity at that point. I assumed everything was going to be tacos, burritos.
Yeah.
No, that's Mexican. Different, completely different. It's paella, which is like a big seafood, like boil. A lot of Mediterranean food. So you get a lot of Greek, Arabic influences on food.
Okay.
And they hate spicy food there. It's so funny.
Really? I don't like it either, and I'm from Texas.
That's crazy. I love spicy food.
Sauce at all.
I made her buffalo chicken wing dip.
Did you?
I call it chicken wing dip, but I obviously say buffalo because I was in Spain. No, she was like, it's so spicy. But she doesn't speak, so she was saying like, ooh, cuidado. Yeah, it was crazy. But
that's funny.
And I loved it. I mean, I was a 10-minute walk from the beach, nude beach.
Straight up.
So, it was a good time.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
it was like
crazy.
The movie Euro Trip.
Literally.
Never experienced a nude beach.
And it was I traveled a lot all over Europe. I think that's partially why I am the way I am, because I've been a lot of places. So, but yeah, just the culture there was unreal. And then after my semester, I was like, I don't want to leave yet. So I stayed for another month and a half past my visa expiring. And I was like, I'm about to get kicked out of the country. I got to go back to America. So.
And being there wasn't distracting while taking the classes, because I would think like,
oh no, it was.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing: Spanish culture. A lot of people don't realize their bars and clubs close at 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
Classes start at 9. So if you plan it correctly and you get on the tram, you could go right to class hungover or still drunk. Definitely still drunk. And they don't care who goes in the clubs. Chupitos are shots. 50 cents a shot. I have a video from 2 years ago on my Snapchats, or 3, however many years it's been now, I think 3 years. Literally 4 full trays of shots, and I literally the caption is $12. It's insane.
So I'm gonna have to go there then.
Oh God, you can't go to Barcelona though, because they're gonna inflate everything.
Yeah.
But the smaller cities, oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, I want to go there anyway, just to be to go to those smaller places to experience it. We drove. I was on a cruise one time, and me and my dad just took a moped and just drove out and just went it was in Montego Bay. We were in Jamaica.
Oh yeah.
And just drove out further and was actually got to see some of the country and see some stuff, which is way better than the resort place.
Exactly. You're not going to get the culture when you go. You might get it a little bit when you go to the populated places, but when you actually go outside and experience new things, where I was, McDonald's was a normal restaurant to them. It's the weirdest thing. Yeah, but it's completely different. They sell macaroons there. It's very high class.
By the culture. Ah, okay.
Literally first day she was first day she was like, oh dude, I have a restaurant, un restaurante. And I was like, oh, wait. And she pulls up to McDonald's. I literally was like, what the hell is
this? If you only knew there's one on every corner in America.
Right?
And they're selling us just straight fat.